We are on the paddock porch and conditions are perfect for a masterclass. Our guest today is someone families trust with their most precious cargo. She's the calm voice when we are nothing but calm. The steady hands in, let's say, the garage that checks what's going on under the hood and fixes it. And it's a pleasure that she found time on her rest day to come on my porch. Dr. Christa, welcome to the paddock porch.
Thank you, Shiko. It's really a big honor. I'm glad that I can add value to your lives and the lives of your kids.
Thank you so much. You are one of my daughter's favorite people. She was born right in the thick of COVID, and people often ask us, how did you survive with no family around? Well, one of the reasons is on my porch today, and we are genuinely happy and grateful for her insights over the years. You made that season work out for us, and we are forever grateful for that. I'm glad that I don't have to come to you often nowadays.
Careful what you say, hey? Be careful what you say.
Straight to business. Are you ready?
100%.
Amazing. Lights out. Let's go. We'll start with an icebreaker. Easy. Don't overthink. Just pick what you'd rather do. Lights out. Let's go. Would you rather calm a crying baby or would you rather convince a toddler to take medicine?
I'm a crying baby. Easy.
Nobody wants
no
to deal with
contest.
toddlers. Would you rather deal with a child who won't stop talking or would you rather deal with a child who refuses to speak at all?
They can talk as long as they want. I can listen to their stories forever. They are the most ingenious little people, and you will hear life's truths from little mouths. They've got no ulterior motives. I love them. They're difficult to talk. Those can be a challenge and a real worry for parents and for doctors alike.
I like that you said you can hear truths from kids because kids, unless somebody has taught them how to lie, they really don't know.
They've got
how
no
to
pretenses. They are innocent, and that's
yeah.
what I love.
Amazing. Would you rather hear I don't like doctors or would you rather hear I Googled my symptoms?
I don't like doctors, so I'll pick that one. Because you can get such wrong information if you Google the wrong thing. Just one word can change the whole outcome.
Day in the life of a doctor is hectic. So would you rather handle a nervous parent or would you rather handle a stubborn child?
That's a difficult one. And a stubborn child, I can handle. A very nervous, very confrontational, passive-aggressive parent, that's something else. And if you throw in that mix a passive-aggressive grandmother, I'll take the child any day.
Oh my gosh, you say the grandparents, I'm like, you have not met my mother. Would you rather explain the same thing 10 times? Or would you rather say one thing once very slowly?
Do both. So you need to learn to read the room. So sometimes they need to hear it in different ways and you can see. And that's why telemedicine is so difficult and was so difficult during the COVID times. Because if you are in a consultation, you see the body language of a parent, you see the fine facial expressions, and you can feel, I need to say a little bit more. I'd explain until I go pink in the face, as long as they walk out there and they feel confident that they understand what we're dealing with.
I have a lot of notes from you because I think you always get the cue that we are worried we might not remember what you said. I have like notes where you've written stuff for me that I keep in my purse. I've been there.
If I have a very serious conversation to have with some parents, I will tell them to bring another parent or a grandparent or a friend with them. Because especially if you give them bad news and you give them complicated news, they don't hear what you're saying. So sometimes it's good then for them to have a recording that they can listen again what I told them
Later.
and come back with questions. I find that using all the media, whether it's visual, whether it's auditory, whether it's just talking in conversation helps to get messages across to the parents.
It's beautiful. Would you rather reassure a first-time parent or would you rather manage a very confident grandparent? I think I know what you're going to say.
They give me the first timers. I'm at that age where I've got a generational divide between my new parents and my own age. Okay, I was young once, but I'm going towards the older age now. That science-based evidence that we now have should trump old traditional beliefs. And they just say, okay, how many children have you raised? I normally say 12,000. Then that sort of
Ooh.
shushes them up because it's true. I think I've had more than 12,000 children through my hands, especially with very African traditional beliefs where we now know different. It's sometimes very difficult to convince them that science trumps all.
What do you enjoy doing outside of the office?
I try to find little things that give me joy. So in my life, because medicine is overwhelming and all consuming. I think especially pediatrics, because you're dealing with people's most precious, like you said. It took me many years to realize that I need to look after myself. I always preach, don't pour from an empty cup. You can't pour from an empty cup. But it took a near breakdown for me to realize that I need to look after myself. I do go to a therapist every now and then to have a soundboard and to offload, especially if it's been a very traumatic time. But I love spending time with my family and my friends. I love cooking. Christmas is my thing. Easter is my thing. Family birthdays. I will obsess and set a beautiful table. It gives me joy to have those people in my house and to feed them. It's a love language I learned from my mother. If you're Afrikaans, you eat when you're sad, you eat when you're happy, you eat when you don't know what to do. Okay, so that's one of the things. I think
You
for
eat
many,
all the time.
you basically, yeah, and chocolate cake can fix anything, okay, basically. So that's the one thing I do. I love to cook and to entertain my people. I've also recently taken up like watercolor painting, just because if I do it wrong, no one is going to die and no one is going to sue me. I also potter around in the garden. I love plants. My daughter rolls her eyes because my phone is filled with plants that I come across and take photos of.
Wow, that's beautiful to hear. It's sad. It's because now you were like, I had to reach a breaking point to realize I need to take care of myself. And you're preaching to so many people because people reach breakdowns and they don't come back. So at least you got a handle of that. I love family and yeah, it's good if you can do that. I also see you doing things with your daughter. It's really one of those things you cannot replace. Cooking, I mean, you enter a house and you smell food, you just feel you are at
And you're
home.
happy.
So I
Yeah.
understand you quite well. And wow, the therapist thing,
It's hard.
yeah, that's what I wanted to
It's
say.
hard.
It's hard to start it because you're like, now I have to go to tell somebody what I'm
I've
feeling.
been lucky in my life that my best friend that I met on my very first day of university is a clinical psychologist. And she has been, we lived close to each other for almost 35 years. And then she moved away. So she was always my sounding board. And I didn't realize to what degree until she moved to the Cape. So now she's a little bit further. And that unfortunately coincided with the whole COVID pandemic and all of that stress and strain and isolation, and mental health in medicine has never been something anyone spoke about until COVID hit, where there was actually people burnt out and people needing help. Up until then, you had to put it somewhere in a little box.
Yeah.
And no one dealt
show
with
up
that
for
ever.
work.
Because
Oh my
the one moment you are in ICU and a patient is dying, and the next moment you must put on a friendly face and be across the
Yeah.
table and in a consultation. So it's hard. That takes a toll. And it took, like I said, severe measures to get me to a point where I decided either I leave this job that I actually love, or I need to do something to help me with the difficult times. And it is very, very, very valuable. Yeah.
I cannot even imagine because I'm one patient or I'm one parent, so I can imagine going through a day. You're in the ER, you are delivering kids. But yeah, that leads me to the need to know why pediatrics.
There's a saying that goes, life is what happens when you're making other plans. And that is what's happened with pediatrics and me. I went into medicine and I fell in love with ophthalmology. So I wanted to be an ophthalmologist because it's so clean and so clinical and just beautiful. And then in my 6th year, I was working in a hospital and I contracted a parasite that attacked my 3D vision in my left eye. And I then lost my fine 3D vision. So I couldn't do that fine stitching anymore. It didn't worry me then too much. In my internship here, I landed doing a 6-month block of pediatrics. And I had the most amazing mentor there. And I fell in love with pediatrics and I have never left.
It's interesting you mentioning what you wanted to do, because as you're saying you like the intricacies of things. Somebody gets in your office, they can tell you like order, you like things organized. It's quite interesting that it's something you've like lived before you even came to
Yes,
pediatrics.
yeah.
So I don't know you personally, but I am normally keen to notice things, and really somebody gets in your office, they can see you like order.
I've been doing pediatrics. It's 30 years this year. 30 years that I entered pediatrics and I've never left. And I look back and I think I am exactly where I should be.
You're supposed to.
I
Oh,
ended
wow.
up where I had to be. There's a universe, there's a God. It decides your path. This has been my life's work and I am immensely proud of it. And I love it. Still love it.
Oh, amazing. So we met by chance. I didn't know you. Emergency CS, they get out my baby, they give my daughter to you. What kind of weight do you feel with
It
that responsibility?
never, ever gets old. I cannot help if that baby is born, but smile. I smile every single time. And I think, what a miracle. It is the most amazing feeling witnessing the joy in parents and families' lives, and even the doctors around that table. No one doesn't smile.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So it never clouds you that I have to check this baby out. The first instinct is, wow, I'm happy this baby is here. Then you like straight to work.
If I know that there's a complication, it is like my brain goes into a switch. Or if I know there's something to expect, then I'm almost all business. I can see immediately as the doctor lifts that baby up, you know immediately, okay, it's business, or I can smile. We can rejoice.
You've gotten the wisdom to know which way to think with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. So I know you have had a lot of best days, worst days, but at the top of your head, give me one worst day, give me one best day.
Okay. Worst day. The drowning of 3 children in one family. I sit here and I get chills if I think of that day. The work, the angst of the parents, of the doctors, of the nurses, of everyone involved trying to save these 3 children, and we couldn't. We failed. And then I had another family who had a child with SIDS, and then had a second baby who had the same. So those are the 2 worst days of my entire career. But then good. I had a baby that was born at 24 weeks premature, weighing 570 grams. He is now 16 years old. He is completely normal, healthy. He is a musical whiz. He is this much taller than me. He's towering over me. And his mother brought him into the practice to come and meet me as an adult. And then you feel, you know what, I've done good. And I think that's what keeps me going in pediatrics. There's always more good than there is bad.
Yeah, you must always look for the good.
Especially those premature babies, it's months. They stay 5, 6 months in our unit. So you get to know these parents and you get to have an intimate relationship with them. And I'm sorry, I've never managed that keep your professional distance. It's never worked for me. I need to know what goes on in your life so that I can help your child, because what goes on at home extrapolates to health issues, to mental health issues, to behavioral issues. So I am the doctor who asks the comfortable questions.
Yeah, but I think with kids, anybody who has a child, like if you don't want somebody who cares that much, there's something wrong with you, not doctors. But yeah, understanding children today from your experience, how are today's children different from previous generations?
Children are the same. The situation and how we grow up is different.
Like that.
Children are spontaneous beings. They need to play. Our lives have changed in such a way that children don't play anymore. There is an immense amount of pressure on children to perform from a very young age. So the competition is immense, and it starts at a very early age, and it's not just the children, it's the parents. And I can understand, because schooling has become competitive. It has become increasingly difficult to get into universities. So those children need to perform. I think children are not allowed to unfortunately be children anymore. We expect them to be little adults, to sit in the corner and with their little hands folded and have like a nice conversation. And all they want to do is run around, climb a tree, but there's no trees for them to climb. There's no mud for them to play in because we are so scared that they might break a bone. Children haven't changed. The world around them have changed. It's also, I think, that saying of it takes a village. Our villages have changed. You are in another country from your mother and your family. So our villages are so small. It's maybe a direct neighbor or one friend. Where we had an extended family with grandmothers, with aunts, with uncles. I'm in the situation where my child is now living in another country. I'm going to be a grandmother, hopefully sometime soon or whenever, but to a child that does not even live on a continent as me. So that village looks completely different. So we don't have that support. The situation in our country, unfortunately, doesn't allow us to give our children free rein. We need to know where they are at all times to protect them. Security, predators. There's so much that it was probably there when I grew up, but it was not as much out in the open. So our main aim is to keep them safe. It's a price we have to pay for where we live and how we live, but we do the best we can. And that's always my message to parents. You do the best you can with what you have at that particular time. There's no such thing as perfect parenting. It doesn't exist. We are driven by what we know, and the only example we have is how we have been raised. And you use that, and then, but now you have the this one. Okay. The social media and the pressure to have everything perfect, but it is impossible. And in childhood development and in childhood growth, nutrition, everything, I always say it's a bell curve. You will always have the ones in the middle where we expect things to happen. You will always have your early birds, and then you have your little ones that lag behind. But what they forget is that whole spectrum, that whole range is normal. We are so focused on what the average Joe has to do that we forget that both those outliers on the side are completely still normal. And it causes immense pressure on parents and on children.
I can relate because you've never really expected anyone to do anything perfectly. So, and I'm like, why is my child not
there's
doing
no
this?
such
You're
thing.
like, he doesn't have a problem. I've checked him. I've checked her. They are perfectly normal. Don't worry. So,
I will tell you if I'm worried. I will never lie to a parent. That's the one thing. I am very straight. If I am worried, I want them to come back so that we can check certain things. I give them the information that I think they need and the things that they need to watch.
Talking about worry, what situation or illness most parents worry about that they really shouldn't worry about in your experience?
Fever. Okay. People are so scared of fever, but also because there's a connotation with fever and febrile illness, like febrile seizures. But fever is a good thing. Fever shows us that your immune system is intact, that it can actually respond. It's working, it's doing its job. It's realizing that there's something foreign, that there's something that they have to fight. But people have got an unholy fear of fever.
Yeah, fever is a scare because you don't know what could happen. But yeah, we should all know what to do at home before we even get to the doctor with that. But yeah, why are children's mental and emotional health such a big issue right now? During COVID, you were telling us that some kids have anxiety. This is something that grown-ups have, like you have responsibilities. But now it's happening even in kids. Why is that?
It's a massive thing, and I think that COVID has rewritten childhood. If you think of the messages that children heard, and what did we speak about in COVID? How many cases we've got? How many people have died? How many in your immediate family have they got this? Are they on oxygen? Is there a bed in hospital? Especially, there's two age groups that I think suffered the most with COVID and what it's brought us. And it was the little ones that for the first 2 or 3 years of their life had to live in almost constant isolation. And then it is the say 11 to 17-year-olds, where they have to have that period in school, according to normal childhood development, to separate from their parents in a natural and healthy way. They have not been able to do that. And unfortunately, there is an amazing book. It is called The Anxious Generation by Dr. Jonathan Haidt. I want to give every parent that book when their child is born. It is the most amazing book, and he talks about how social media and screens have stolen childhood. Children don't play. Children measure themselves on TikTok, on Instagram likes, on not Facebook. Facebook is my generation, okay? I'm being told that's for old people. Things like Snapchat and the dangers in that parents don't always realize. But it shows very clearly that girls specifically, they measure themselves on this unrealistic pictures that get painted on TikTok and on Instagram and influencers. The girls get anxiety and depression and eating disorders. The boys, they get hooked on gaming and on porn. And it is a fact. And that is unfortunately what social media has brought to us. So there's a big drive to get phone-free schools, to have parents stick together and have pacts to not give children cell phones until they go to high school, especially. But it's very difficult. The pressure you are under as a parent, you don't want your own little thing to be the only one out. So the pressure is immense. But the damage that it is doing is worse.
And it's sad because, as you're saying, young girls are not confident. They think there's something wrong with them. I've had people in my DM asking me, why do you talk so confidently? Like, my podcast is not about anything fancy. I come and talk and I go. Girls, they want to look their best. They come to my podcast and they're like, okay, so this girl comes and records herself just doing it naturally. I'm like, yes, that's how I'm comfortable. And also,
That's
I'm a
what you're
mom. I don't
comfortable
have
with, yeah.
time to do makeup. Like now, when I came in, I hadn't even had coffee. So I'm like, I don't even have time to do all that.
Yeah,
But
it has
it's sad.
changed. It has changed.
Yeah,
And people
it's
make careers out of it. So this is what everyone is aspiring to. They make money from being liked and loved and made up and whatever. So the young people aspire to that. And if they don't meet that specific standard, then they feel I am not enough. It's very sad. It's really very sad, but it's a big, big, big problem. Yeah.
challenge. You're a doctor, but also a parent. Your daughter is now like a
Young
grown-up.
woman.
I wanted to say young woman. They always seem like our babies. It doesn't matter how old they are.
Always my baby.
So what is the biggest advice you give parents that you found personally difficult to do as a parent?
Your patience. We are so judged if we are impatient. You need to be this term gentle parenting. I love the concept.
Does gentle parenting work in Africa?
We try.
We try our best.
But gentle parenting is not having boundaries. And I think that is probably the most difficult thing to keep doing, is having the boundaries in place. You don't want to feel like the monster all the time, but children thrive within boundaries. I've got this beautiful analogy that I always use, and I say parenting is like flying an aeroplane. An aeroplane needs a pilot. The pilot cannot sit at the back with the passengers because that's a disaster.
Exactly.
And the passengers cannot all be in the cockpit. That's a bigger disaster. You need someone to fly the plane. Someone needs to actually be in charge. I am guilty. I have relaxed and said, okay, just do what you want to do. And then I will deal with it later. And they always catch you when you are at your lowest, when you are tired, when you are exhausted, when you do not have energy. And then it is very difficult. But I think if you like the 80-20 rule, 80% you try and stick to your guns, 20% we can let it slide a little bit.
You falter a bit.
But on the important things, keeping them safe, you decide what is good for them. They have a voice, but your voice overrides theirs.
I like that. He once told me, you need to be a parent more than you are a friend.
They've got friends. They've got their own friends. You are not their friend. Okay. You have to be their parent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
is your
so
job.
good.
That is your job.
Yeah.
Your job is
Yeah.
to do that parenting with kindness, with compassion. And yeah, I believe that strongly.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to do it with the level
It's
mind.
hard. Do at any time the best you can with what you've got on that day. And it's not a long-term thing. It's literally an hour-to-hour thing, day-to-day thing.
Yeah. Just take every day as it comes. And with that, I need you to just tell new parents, exhausted parents, parenting is hard. Like, I can't really explain how hard to people who don't have kids, but just one thing you can tell new parents, parents who are exhausted, who are discouraged, one thing to keep them holding on.
There will always be light. In the middle of the night, if that baby is screaming, the sun will still come up. Illness will pass. Troubles we'll deal with. It might take hard work, but there will be light. If you keep on showing up, doesn't matter in what form, it doesn't have to be perfect. It will be okay.
Somebody told me, like, moms, we have that bone in our backs where if something needs to be done, it doesn't matter if you are exhausted, it will be done.
You will do it. You will do it.
Yeah.
And moms have that ability. And there's a saying, there is no better researcher than the mom of a sick child. And that is the first lesson my professor, when I started pediatrics, he says, listen to the mother. There is no one who knows your child better than you. So just trust your gut. If you are worried,
the way you say
seek help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I asked you, so how do I know it's really bad? You're like, you will feel it. And I'm like, how will I feel it? You're like, you will know. It's
the same thing that when parents ask me, which school must I go to? I say, you go and you visit and you will know. That feeling you feel. You feel, I am home. My child will be at ease here. I will be at ease here. Trust your gut.
That's so good. You see a lot of parents. So what does good parenting really look like to you as a doctor?
Showing up. If a parent shows up, doesn't matter in what situation, just show up. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can shout and you can scream. We all do it. Okay. But if you are there, if that child knows you are his safe space, you are available in your imperfection, you are doing it.
That's so encouraging because sometimes we are hard on ourselves.
Like I said, there's no such thing as perfect, okay? We all have different backgrounds. We've been raised by parents that are vastly different than us, in a vastly different time than us. So, yes, we are forging new ways, but at the end of the day, all we want is for that little person to grow up to be an independent, confident, kind human being. If you show up in the same way, with kindness, with compassion, know that you are an imperfect being, but you show up in all your imperfection, it's okay. It will be fine. Some days it's better than others, but show up. Put down your phone. Listen to that child. Sit on the floor. I always say, do silly things, because those little traditions, make the meals together, set the table together. Those little traditions are the things that your children are going to remember.
So I want to talk to you about a recent, can I call it medical thing? Zinplex was banned in South Africa, right? You know we use this thing. I've used it on my children. So I need to get your view. Why the use of Zinplex was banned in South Africa? They are no longer in shelves.
We all betwixt and between. Okay, it came out of nowhere. No one was, and we just suddenly got this memo from SAHPRA, which is the governing body for the pharmaceutical industry, that this is no longer allowed. And it is the combination of zinc picolinate and selenium that they are worried about. We've traditionally used zinc in many conditions and in situations in pediatrics and in general medicine, especially in impoverished communities where nutrition is a big problem, for pregnant women, and in acute gastro. we normally use zinc for 10 to 14 days. Zinc is a medication that helps to heal the skin barrier, whether it is inside in the mucosa in your gut or whether it is outside on the skin. So it helps with that. It's also a potent antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory medication. So the use of zinc for short-term periods seem to not be a problem. They have a problem with the long-term prophylactic use of specifically zinc picolinate in combination with selenium. It seems that the combination leads to ultra physiological levels, so higher than normal physiological levels needed of zinc in the body. And the problem is that zinc is quite a difficult mineral to test. It is a test that is not easily available and it is expensive. So it's not something that we often do. There's very specific situations where I would test zinc, and that is in acute malnutrition, if there's chronic diarrhea in a child with attention deficit disorder, because it's been shown that if there's a zinc deficiency, it can influence concentration and attention. Not all zinc has been banned, okay? Specifically, the product that combines zinc picolinate and selenium has been taken off the shelves for the moment. But on the other side, there is, from the company side, they've now brought like a high court issues. There are substitutes. So the only thing that you need to look for is a different type of zinc product. So you can use zinc citrate, zinc glycinate, and zinc sulfate. Those are the three. Okay. So any product that you look at the combination of zinc that they use, and those would be safe to use in your kids. I've never had a problem with it, but this is our governing body and we do not have much of a choice. The product is no longer available, so now we have to look for alternatives.
And sometimes when there's a red flag on something, you cannot ignore it because especially
no,
if
we
it's,
can't.
if it's
no,
with
and
kids.
especially, I cannot go and recommend it. So in short bursts, like 10 to 14 days, maybe even 2 to 4 weeks in acute illness. For long-term prophylactic use, we are now going to say no to that specific product.
I was wondering why the problem was coming from, but from you, I'm hearing it's the combination of like two
it
components.
Seems to be
that's
the combination.
Making it, okay, it's not like
so
one
give
or
you
the
higher
other.
than normal zinc levels in the bloodstream, which can then lead to gastrointestinal side effects like diarrhea, nausea, the very thing that we're trying to prevent.
So let me ask, for parents who have been giving their kids this product, of course, I stopped when they said that because I don't want to take any chances. But for parents who have been giving their kids this product, are we supposed to worry because we already gave them, or
no?
Okay.
It will work out of your child's system in a day or two. There are other products that we recommend. So in the Zinplex range, the multivitamin syrups, as well as the gummies, have got zinc citrate in, which is safe.
Oh, so that's okay. Okay.
Yeah, so you can use those. You can still use the other Zinplex products, the magnesium or the Crash Guard multivitamin. Yeah, so that we can give them those trace elements. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for that, because mom groups, we have been up in arms trying to understand this because everybody has it in their house literally. So thank you for that. Thank you for the options you have given. We would like our children to eat all the healthy food, but some kids really are not on board with that.
I think that is the big message, is feed your children the rainbow, but there are those little ones that need a little bit of extra support. Okay. You can't supplement an unhealthy child to health. So we still need to concentrate on nutrition, diet, sleep, sunlight, all those other things that we know contribute to a good immune system, to a healthy, nutritious life.
What advice would you give parents as we start this year? Basically aimed at raising healthier kids, healthier generation, and to start the year strong so that we finish strong.
Okay. It always comes back to the basics. So nutrition is the thing that makes all the difference. So for them to get all the micro and macronutrients in, feed them healthy, as fresh as possible food. Let them get enough sleep. Keep up with their vaccinations because that makes a big difference. Screen time, limit it as far as possible. Let your children be children and let them go outside. Everything in moderation.
Yeah, not too much of something and make sure it's enough.
Exactly. It will be okay.
So I need to know, doctor, did you take my instructions on how to brew tea? I've always gone to South African households and they're like, water is separate, milk is separate. You get a tea
No.
bag and you're told you dunk in.
You dunk it? No, I did it. And it definitely makes a difference. The flavor is just so much better. It's all
Yeah.
finished.
And it's finished, so I need to
It's
go back
finished.
and get you some. You were asking me, so how much tea masala do I know is enough? I'm like, just if it smells nice, it's enough.
I first made it too weak, and then I thought, no, let me add a little bit. And then I got to a happy medium, and yeah, no. I had copious amounts of tea, especially through those winter months.
We are tea people, and we like the process of brewing to happen, not like South Africa.
I will always remember you when I brew my tea. I promise you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for supporting my podcast. At the beginning, you were wondering what's happening in 2023. So I got pregnant and I got this condition where you can't swallow your saliva. I don't even remember the name.
I said, no, I don't know that.
Yeah, so it's like your saliva tastes like metal. So I couldn't do like what I'm doing now. So that's why I pushed it forward. I checked out. They were like, it only lasts for 3 months. It didn't last for 3 months. It lasted for like the whole pregnancy. So I couldn't talk. Pregnancy really, sometimes it gets you in the pits. But yeah, thank you for following through all these years. Thank you so much, Dr. Christa, for your time. I'm truly humbled. What an incredible conversation. I know you have my email. I hope I'm not going to get an invoice for this session.
No, definitely not.
I appreciate your time. We need doctors like you so much, and we really hope that you feel appreciated. You should know your impact travels far because we share it. We don't keep this information. People in my country, friends I've shared with them, just know your impact is not limited to where you are. It goes far. It's not about just work for you. Even in the community around you, in your practice, really talks a lot about you because families in that waiting room, you'll find them giving tips to each other. It's like we know each other. So even the community you're building there, just know it's working. We help each other. You're a village for someone, even if it's that one day, you know.
Pediatrics, it's my life's work. It's my passion. And I think there's very many little people walking around on this earth that I had a hand in. And yeah, I still love it after all this time. And what you're saying, not that I need validation in any way, but it makes me warm and fuzzy. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
I'm not doing this because you need it, because it was a chance encounter. We even found family friends in your practice because you see somebody's child is the same age as yours. You exchange numbers. We invite each other to birthdays and all this. So don't think of it as just work. You're building a wonderful community and we appreciate you so much. My only problem is, and I have to admit it, when I call and they tell me you are on holiday, doc, I always rethink, is my child really sick enough to see another doctor?
Listen, I will never put anyone there that I don't believe can do the job, okay?
But it's just me. I probably have trust issues, but yeah.
Believe me, it's not just you.
So we understand you cannot work the whole year round, but yeah, that's my problem. If I call your office and they're like, Dr. Christa is not there, I'm like, is my child really sick? I don't think so. Yeah, and your heart for empowering parents to confidently handle certain things at home is rare. Most doctors, they want you in their office like every other day for any minimal thing. So thank you for your page, for all the small things you give us to just handle some things that we can at home. From bringing my child for hiccups, I'm now the family doctor. I know what's urgent. I know what can wait. I know how long to observe. I usually leave your practice saying, I hope I don't see you again anytime soon. I always mean it, but for today, I'll say see you again on the porch because I also mean it. And to all parents, new, seasoned, planning to be a parent, go and check out Dr. Christa Swanepoel's page for insights that truly make a difference. And that's it for this episode. All of you, thank you for supporting my podcast. Subscribe, follow, like, comment, share. And everyone already doing that, keep doing that. I'm already looking forward to my next guest. So, crew, until next time, this is the Paddock Porch podcast where we talk hot laps, life, and family. Thank you so much, Dr. Christa Swanepoel. I'm Shiko, and as always, God bless.
Thank you, Shiko.